Good morning, everybody. My dear students from grade 12, Lesson Art, welcome you all from our school, Muqtama Private School for Girls. Today is the 1st of October, and we will start a new lesson. This is Module 2, Grammar Lesson at your student book, page 2030. This is outline for our lesson today. We have starter grammar. The first objective to talk about the comparative using our worksheet. Then with the superlative with worksheet 2. And with our closure, your student book, page 30. The first objective for today, look at the pictures and write more adjectives below. Write down, you have 2 minutes to write your own adjectives to describe these pictures. Take your time, you can pause your video and write down your own adjectives. Okay? Now, you can say about the first picture, you can say fat, we can say delicious food. You have the second picture, short, tall. About the third picture, you can say handsome. Okay? Now, let's start with the first objective about compare and contrast between two things using comparative structure by answering question at your worksheet 1. What is a comparative? When we compare between two things or persons, we use comparative structure. This is meaning of comparative, to compare. Comparative adjective means to use a comparative or to use adjective to compare between two things or two persons. Okay? Like, we have 2 types of adjectives. At the beginning, we are going to divide the adjective into regular and irregular adjectives. Regular adjectives, all the adjectives that you are going to study, they are all regular adjectives, but we have 5 irregular adjectives. These are bad, good, far, little, and much. These are your irregular adjectives. But now we are going to talk about the 2-syllable adjective or more and only 1-syllable adjective. Again, you are going to divide your own adjectives like fat, short, tall, and so on into short one and long one. The short adjectives that has only 1 syllable. The long adjective has more than 1 syllable. Let's see some of examples of short adjectives like long, short, big, small, hot, cold, good, bad, fit, easy, heavy, light, cheap. Some of these adjectives have 2 syllables, but we use them exactly as a short one. Then some of long adjectives like difficult, challenging, exciting, interesting, popular. Then we have beautiful, expensive, etc. This is the short adjective as an example and long adjectives. Now, we have a rule to form your sentence using short adjective or long adjective to make a comparative. The first rule, you are going to use your adjective adding er to the short one with than, but with the long adjective we use more or less than. We have an example here. Ahmed is taller than Ali. However, Ali is shorter than Ahmed. Okay? Ahmed is taller than Ali. Then we use a short adjective. We add only er to the short adjective with using than to make a comparative between Ahmed and Ali. The second example, gold is more expensive than silver, but silver is less expensive than gold. They have the same, but you are going to use more or less with the same adjective. But with the long adjective, we use more or less than. Okay? I hope that you understand the rule for if you are going to make a comparative between two things or two people. If you have a short adjective, that means you are going to add er. Ahmed is taller than Ali. But if you have a long adjective, you said gold is more expensive than, because this is a long adjective, but with the short one, we use only er. Okay? As we said before, bad and good are irregular adjectives. They have their own rule. Like good, we can say gooder or better, but we say good, better than the best. Bad, worse than the worst. Okay, let's find an example for this. Ibrahim is good than Ali. Then you have another example. Adil is bad than Ibrahim. Then you say Ibrahim, who can answer it? Take your time and answer it. Okay. But number one, Ibrahim is better than Ali. Excellent. Then Adil, worse. Adil is worse than Ibrahim. Thank you very much. Now, about some adjectives that end with y, like easy or happy. Easy, you are going to say easier. You are going to change, you will change y with I. Okay? Then you say easier than, the easiest. Happier than, the happiest. We have example 1 and 2. Arabic is easier than English. Adil is happier than Ibrahim. You should concentrate with this and focus on when you change the letter Y with a letter I. Okay? Now, about similarity. What is similarity? If you are going to say Ahmed is as the same with Ali in something, they are tall. Ahmed is tall and the same highest is Ali. You are going to use as adjective, as with affirmative sentence. If it is affirmative sentence, you are going to use as, then your adjective as. With a negative one, you can use not, as, or so with adjective, okay? As. Let's see the example 1 and example 2. French is easy as English. Then you can say French is as easy as English. As easy as English. Number 3, watching TV is not as interesting or so interesting. You can say that or that. Both are correct. Then, note about the comparative and comparative. Faster and faster. More and more. We can use two of adjectives exactly as a comparative plus the comparative and to explain your sentence or situations. Nowadays, football becomes more and more popular. Okay, we can use more and more before your adjective. Then you can say players should run faster and faster. Okay, that's right. Now, about your comparative and the comparative. Using the, then use a comparative, then the with another comparative. Like the less or the more. The less or the more. The earlier, the cheaper. The earlier you book your text, the cheaper you get. Now you have an example. The less you try, the less you learn. What? The less, this is a comparative, the less you try, the less you learn. The more you try, the more you learn. Do you understand me now? We can use more instead of less here. The less you try, the more you learn. So, okay, the less you try, the less you learn. We can use the more you try, the more you learn. Now, the higher you climb, the colder it gets. Okay? This is a comparative too. Comparative here and a comparative here. No need to say less or more. Okay? Now, let's practice the comparative with worksheet and exercise. Read your sentence. You can pause your video and answer. Who can answer? Excellent. Football is more popular than baseball. Next, Ibrahim plays tennis. Yeah, good. Better than anyone. Thank you. Now, correct the adjective between brackets. You can pause your video, write down your answer at your notebook, then check your answer. Now, let's check the answers. Number 1, the blue car is nicer than the black one. You can say the blue car is as nice as the black one, as you like. Again, you can say the blue car is nicer than the black one, and you can say the blue car is as nice as the black one. 2, that's right. This exercise is less boring than that one. Okay? And you can say that this exercise more boring than that one, as you like, no problem. Okay? Number 5. His plover is darker than, okay? Or, yeah, if you don't have than here, you can use as dark as his jeans. But we have than, then we are going to say darker than. Hadi is funny than Ali. Then Hadi is funnier than Ali. Thank you very much. Now, with worksheet 1, you can pause your video and try to answer this exercise, please. Okay, you can pause your video and check your answers. Now, check the answers. This flower is than that one. Then you have beautiful. Yeah, this flower is more beautiful than that one. Thank you. Number 2, I think mathematics is good, as difficult as. Excellent, girls. This car is less expensive than our car. Now correct the adjective between tracks. I disagree with him. He is more intelligent than other students. 2, your story is as interesting as. Thank you. Now, correct. You can pause your video and answer the exercise. Gold is more expensive than. Thank you. Excellent. My result in the test was better than Ali's. Thank you. Hannah's hair is longer than Ali's. Good. Adil is not as old as Samir, or you can say Adil is not so old as Samir. Now, about superlative. What is superlative? To compare one towards a group of the same group. Okay? Short adjective and long adjective. We have a rule to make superlative too. If you have a short adjective, you are going to use the, then your adjective adding est. shortest, then you can say the thinnest, and so on. With the long adjective, we use the, then we use most or least, then using the adjective or the adverb. Okay? Now, Ahmed is tall student in his class. Then Ahmed is the tallest. Gold is the most expensive metal I have ever seen. Now, about the adjective that end with Y, the same as the comparative, the same with the superlative. Easier, the easiest. Happier, happiest. Okay? Now we have example 1 and 2. Arabic is easy language. Then you say Arabic is the easiest language. Thank you very much. Number 2, Adil is the funniest member in our team. Good. Now, what's good and bad about your superlative? You have the best and the worst. Like for your example, Ibrahim is, who can answer? You can pause your video and then answer. Yeah? Excellent. Ibrahim is the best student in the class. 2. Adil is the worst player in our team. Well done. Now let's press the superlative. Sorry. Football is popular game. You can say football is the most popular game. Excellent. Ibrahim is player in our team. Is the best. Bravo. Now, pause your video and correct the adjective between brackets. Who can answer number 1? Excellent. The blue car is the nicest one. 2. This exercise is the least boring one or the most boring one. Ahmed is the oldest student in our class. You can say Ahmed is, the tallest, the cleverest, as you like. Okay? Worksheet 2, read and let's check your answer. You can pause your video and choose the correct answer, then correct the adjective between brackets. Okay, number 1. Let's check your answer. My sister is, bravo, the smartest person in her class. 2. We bought the most expensive house in the city. Bravo. Math is the most difficult subject in school. Then you have the Nile is the longest river in the world. Then your story is the most interesting story I have read, or you can see the least interesting story I have ever heard. Now we are going to end our lesson now today with the closure. About your student book, page 30. You can pause your video, answer your question, then check them with me, okay? Pause your video and start to answer the question. Like for number 1, you have an example. You become increasingly fat the more you work out. You become fatter and fatter the more you work out. Okay? Two. Riding a bike is not as challenging as horse riding. Riding a bike is not as challenging as horse riding. Then you can say riding a bike. Okay, who can answer? Good. Is less challenging than horse riding. Bravo, bravo, excellent. Number 3, swing is not as easy as diary writing. Then swing is more difficult than. Okay, it's very easy for you now. Good. Camel racing is as exciting as. Number 5, I like more than swing. Then you have, Corinne is the best at playing chess. That is the worst time I have ever had. And with the last one, good. The major astronomy popular is not as popular as Falcon racing in Qatar. Now, thank you very much for your listening. See you soon, inshallah, with the next lesson. Bye.